Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're back in War Thunder and we're looking at another replay. This is killerjab and he is in the M56. Now if you don't know what this machine is, well, it's not great, at least in my opinion. You have a very small tank destroyer, has a decent gun on it with some very nice rounds. The issue with it is the fact that it can be machine gunned to death. Aircraft will single it out, just like they do Hellcats and Sluggers, just so they can kill everyone on top of it. And also the fact that it can get rammed and destroyed. Also, there are many instances where its rounds generally penetrate a target and end up not doing anything. Very similar to what you used to see with Sabo, and still do see with Sabo. So yeah, as simple as that. That's why I don't really like the M56. But this replay is completely bizarre. Now, I don't know what else to say about this. killerjab is going to show you how to aggressively play the M56. He moves on top of the hill in the jungle map. And remember, this thing has actually got some amazing gun depression. And because of its speed, you can get to places before the enemy will even think about you being there. Takes a shot at the Panther, doesn't do any damage. Unfortunately, the angle was not good enough to be able to penetrate, but this Panther doesn't seem too untoward, just because he keeps coming. I mean, why not? Keep coming up the hill. He takes a shot, hopefully through the gunner's mantlet. If not, he's going to be focused on somebody else. Take a shot straight to the side. The angle is slightly better for the Scorpion, and good night. So, after that aggressive push, he gets himself one kill, and at this point, I would probably move back. You know, my job's done, I've done pretty well. Now, I've given the advantage to my team, maybe pull back, take a defensive position, but then again, that's me, and this is killerjab. So instead of doing that, what killerjab does is move forward. Takes out a Tiger 2P, it just has absolutely all the balls in the world. He's taken every man's balls and been able to make them into two giant balls and carry them around, because look what he's doing. He's just charging at the enemy. He's been shot, it didn't do anything. This Slar obviously can't either hear, can't see, dumb, deaf and blind does definitely come to mind while we're talking about him. And that's his third kill already in this very aggressive match where he's just running around with this little machine. Now, can you imagine how annoying it is if you have an M56 on the enemy team who's just darting around all over the place? Now, try and to put your anger into something more constructive, such as telling your team why the hell can't they hear this guy, why the hell can't they see this guy? Even though the Scorpion is incredibly small, you can still see it, and you can still also see on the map the trail of enemies that he's left, and their burning carcasses. At this point, you would think the German team would turn around and go, you know what, this whole flank has just been decimated by an M56. Maybe what we should do is pull back, or maybe we should try and find him and kill him. But no. What happens is that killerjab is able to sit on this point and capture it for his team, basically giving his team, you know, taking the advantage away from the German team when it comes to the break game mode, I suppose you would call it. But he keeps moving forward. Oh, this might be the first enemy to actually see him, but he doesn't shoot at him. I'm guessing he must have been damaged. There is no way he wouldn't have shot on him. Also, I've decided midway through this replay to turn off the markers. Turn around, Panther. Understand what's going on. Maybe this isn't killerjab doing really well, which it is as well, but at the same time, in order to have a really, really good game in something like an M56, something which doesn't have a turret, doesn't have any armor, quite hard to use, but it does have good gun depression and also speed on its hands, you also need an enemy team, which is definitely a few straws from a full bunch, if you know what I mean. Has maybe a few issues when it comes to how they play. But anyway, I decided to turn off icons in this. I want to know if you prefer the icons being on or not. I'm still debating within myself if it's right to have icons on, because I want to have icons on, but I don't want enemy icons on. I just want allied icons on, and it doesn't seem like I can do that. So I'll turn it off, and then if you want to know if it's an allied tank in front, well, you have the map. But anyway, after clearing up the capture point, he's able to kill the 2 Panthers and take a interesting shot at the Ferdinand. Unfortunately he missed, but that's completely fine. Something that's really interesting about the M56 is when you actually fire it, the whole thing joggles back and forth. It feels very similar to when you fire something like a KV-2, when you have this large gun on a chassis which kind of can hold it, but you know, it's designed to kind of rock back and forth. It's really interesting to see. It's definitely one of those things which kind of shows how you know, suspension and stuff like that works in War Thunder. But anyway, we have another target who's decided to try and run away. I have literally no idea where that round went. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's a misfire, maybe the guy is lagging or something like that, or he's already dead. So I'm not exactly sure what went on there. But look how quick this is. Something that it never should be missed is the fact that the M56 is not just quick on hard terrain. There's a lot of tanks out there which are quick on hard terrain, and unfortunately we have a Ferdinand here. I don't know if he's lagging or not, or he's just struggling. Well, I don't know. Once again, we go back to the theory of maybe this whole team was just a few straws short of a bunch. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The Scorpion is not just fast on hard terrain like a lot of vehicles such as the Bulldog or the Chaffee or even something like the Excelsior. It's also very nippy on heavy terrain, so, or soft terrain, depending on who you're talking to. So what I'm talking about there is heavy mud, sand, water. It keeps its acceleration going, whereas a lot of other vehicles kind of lose all of that advantage when it comes to this terrain, such as sand and water. So that is another advantage this thing does have in its favor. The fact that it can be machine gunned to death though, and the fact that if your first round doesn't do something, yeah, you're gonna really struggle with this. But in this replay, killerjab has shown you how deadly this thing can be if it's left unchecked. If it's left for people just to ignore it as you go. It's just completely bonkers how people just left killerjab to kind of just do whatever he wanted. And now he has a T-29. Look how big the T-29 is compared to him. Just shows how small this little vehicle is, but definitely very fun to use. But anyway, the game kind of winds down from here. He's done the heavy lifting. He's already done the heavy lifting with the amount of kills he has. So he finishes off with 7 kills and 2 base captures. No assists, because that's not how he rolls. But showing how even a vehicle which is generally considered not very good, or generally considered not really fitting the game, you can do well in. And also, if you're a German player, right, look at your damn map. That's it. Just look at the map and see who's dying around you, and you'll be able to do a hell of a lot better. Not just German players, every single player. Look at your damn map. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.